This is a great one. This is a great one. Okay, so this one has a very, very nice one. So the foot soldiers of a billion-dollar industry. So Dr. Michel Dow and other abortionists are the hands that carry out the dirty work of the pharmaceutical and population control industry. Without them, the massive profits would collapse. So the most guilty are the ones who make it happen. Pharmaceutical executives and corrupt lawmakers create the system. And that is true, right? So the pharmaceutical executives will bribe the lawmakers, and there's nobody will deny that. I mean, it's basically known, it's basically public knowledge at this point. But it's the problem. Abortionists like them are the ones directly responsible for the deaths. Without individuals willing to sign the prescriptions and perform the procedures, this machine grinds to a halt. And I would also add that without these these doctors here, they're not doctors, they're abortionists willing to deceive young women. Yeah. Then of course this would end, right? This would end tomorrow. Let's say, for example, these doctors would actually have a heart for humanity, but no, they're so they're so interested in their own. The bank account is bursting at the seams. I mean, how much more money do you want, right? You can make it stop tomorrow, but that's the thing, right? They'll get fired, and somebody else, some other evil person. But it just sucks that it has to be my cousin that does it. I am, I'm not. There's a separation there, but I feel like I'm part of this thing, and I just feel like I'm connected to such a heinous a person that can do such a heinous crime, and I'm like connected by blood and DNA to this person. It sucks, man. I don't want to be part of this person's family at all. That's why there's a material separation there. Let's continue on. So a business model built on death. Every prescription for birth control or abortifacients is another financial gain for pharmaceutical companies. Abortionists serve as their frontline sales reps, pushing these drugs under the guise of healthcare, while ensuring a continuous revenue stream. That's the problem, though. The conception, is real, or the baby is real. It's a small boy or small girl that will die at the stage of implantation. This is naturally, a healthy stage in development. There's nothing there's nothing, there's no illness about a healthy woman's, reproductive cycle. There's nothing. This is not an illness that you need to treat. Yeah? Pharmaceutical bribes keep the machine running. So politicians could, they should outlaw these drugs, are instead bought and paid for by industry lobbyists, ensuring that laws continue to favor mass distribution. Meanwhile, abortionists like Dow do the work of executing these policies at the local level. Right? And you wouldn't have this if it were not at the local level. You wouldn't have this going if it wasn't for these types of abortionists like Dr. Michel Dow. Eliminating the middlemen would cripple the industry. Lawmakers and pharmaceutical executives rely on depraved individuals willing to carry out their agenda. So you cannot have a just and moral person doing this thing. It just cannot happen. You cannot have somebody who has a heart, that wants to, kill babies. You need a depraved individual, and it's just a very sad and sobering reality that my own family is responsible for so many deaths, and the immense disservice that my family was directly playing a part in, basically killing the next the culture, destroying the culture. Removing abortionists from the equation would cut off the industry's ability to function, exposing the system for what it truly is. There's no just following orders defense. Sorry, this is not right. This is defense. Abortionists are not passive participants. They actively choose to facilitate the killing. They could have chosen a legitimate medical career, like a doctor, but instead they profit from death. They are as guilty, if not more, than those at the top. Certainly more, certainly more. Yeah, if it wasn't for Dr. Dow, these babies would not die. These lawmakers are not the one prescribing the thing, but they certainly are guilty, and certainly are guilty. The industry's disposable assets, while pharmaceutical giants and lawmakers continue profiting in the shadows, abortionists like Dow are the ones most exposed. When the tide turns against abortion, they will be discarded as liabilities while the real masterminds walk free. And that's the thing, too. I mean, these. Um, I mean, she's not in the shadow. She's in the limelight. She's dumb enough to put herself there, and dumb enough to be the one that is, the one putting herself at risk. But exactly, now this is what a wonderful point, right? She doesn't. The industry doesn't care for 1 minute about Dr. Dow. She's only her the disposable foot soldier. And that is a great point. We're going to read this again. So the industry's disposable assets. While pharmaceutical giants and lawmakers continue profiting in the shadows, abortionists like Dow are the ones most exposed. When the tide turns against abortions, they will be discarded as liabilities, while the real masterminds walk free. So, does Dr. Dow belong in the prison? Is she no, or she's just a victim of this corrupt system? No, she definitely belongs in the prison for a period of life without without the eligibility for parole for at least 25 years. And now she's certainly guilty. She's certainly there's no reason that you can't be some sort of doctor. I mean, you got to be an abortionist. But that is a wonderful point here made. That the masterminds here will walk free with a whole lot of more money than she has. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's got a bunch of money, a bunch of bunch of money. The bank account is bursting at the seams, like I said. But these guys get even more money. But she shoulders more of the risk. So a legacy of blood money. While Dow and her peers may enjoy their wealth now, history will judge them for what they truly are: merchants of death, enablers of corruption, and betrayers of their own professional oath to heal. And she certainly has brought her own self into disrepute, as we saw in the oath. There's a video about the oath. What is the oath? Do no harm. Don't kill babies and all this stuff. So she's just a dumb foot soldier, I guess you could say, right? And these lawmakers and pharmaceutical giants don't they don't care about her, right? They don't care about her. All she is a form of revenue to her. But she's guilty. Certainly, she's not some victim of a terrible system. No, she put herself there. She could have gone into another kind of thing, or she put herself there. Why would she do that? That is such a dumb position to be in. It was a lapse in judgment to put yourself as an abortionist. But here she is, ready to retire as a lifetime career, a full career, being an abortionist and empowering women's rights. What a great legacy to leave behind for her grandkids. I mean, if I was that woman's grandchildren, I certainly would be ashamed. And she does have a couple grandkids and all this stuff. She seems that she loves her grandchildren, and I think she does. And the pictures of I'm looking at pictures of her and her grandchildren. She seems like she loves them. I don't know why she would. I mean, she hates babies. She hates life. So why love your own grandchildren at that point? Nothing makes sense anymore. When you start killing babies, nothing makes sense except she deserves, license should be revoked immediately, prison sentence, life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for at least 25 years. There's only one remedy to this situation, and you can't bring the babies back. You cannot, and that's what's so awful. What's good though, and what's really, really important, we forgot to mention, and we did talk about it in another video, is that the abortion genocide will end. It will 100%. It cannot continue. It is not sustainable. It will end someday.